Greetings, King.
Positive energy to all.
Positive energy to all, man. The topic tonight is Crisis 2, Common Sense in Common, and elevating your immune system.
Hmm, interesting. A lot of positivity in that. A lot of learning and growth.
Absolutely. So, Rich, how has it been for the past couple of days? How's it been flowing in Vegas? What have you seen and what your reactions
Yeah,
are to what you have seen? People still buying up toilet paper. um, the lack of the lack of sense per se.
yeah,
Nobody's using their righteousness, which is common sense.
right.
Nobody's flowing like the universe is flowing. They're still being misguided and programmed,
Right.
basically.
Yeah,
Expound upon that on your end.
yeah. I'm here in the West Coast, so I'm not too far from LA. And see in Vegas, whoever's out there who's never been to Vegas, see Vegas is one of those cities that get a lot of marketing and advertising and people don't know what it. I've been here for over 20 years, so um, Vegas is actually not a real city. It doesn't even have a real downtown. It's a city for gamblers, uh, entertainment, girls, excitement. It's all that. But in the last 20 years, it has transformed to be a city that caters more to the youth too, and it's become more domestic. But Vegas is always a tale of two cities because it tries to be domestic in the daytime. We have kids walking to school. They try to make a city out of this fun town. You got kids walking to school past billboards with women naked on it, and it's crazy. At night, the whole city changes into this entertainment, girls, and whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Sin City. But now, when the crisis hit, I think Vegas is more devastated than any other city in terms of the morale because most of the employment was people that worked in casinos,
Hmm.
and it's an international town, a tourist town. So a lot of the money came from the tourists, and the strip is shut down now. So it's not like you have cities like Philly, New York, Atlanta, where you have factories and the economy is booming in that sense, but it's mainly like entertainment and I mean they have the military and city and state jobs, but still the city is devastated, and it's like no one knows what to do here. I think more so than any other city because it's less culture here because it was everybody has like a jackpot mentality, and now you can't even go after your jackpot, and it's
Jackpot shut
weird, man.
down.
The jackpot, all your options is shut down, all your hope is gone, and it's crazy because people is like doing the 3 car Miley on the street. They try to create their own casinos.
How um in situations like this, the world is going through whatever they're going through with this pandemic, this COVID-19, and it seemed like people that are not familiar with running a household is aiming to do so, right? The spending of time, like we have to connect now. So It's not about, oh, I'm out of the house while you're in the house, and while I'm in the house, you're out of the house, or whatever. Like, I'm going to see you on a day-to-day basis because we can't go anywhere. So a lot of pretty much arguments, and you know you have to really pay attention now to whatever your partner is actually doing. Before,
And
I can text you, even though a lot of women don't give a shit. They'll be right next to you and text you. Or you'll be upstairs and they text you anyway. The technology is killing the connection between individuals and the natural way of communicating, per se. It's like the device is giving you was setting off a certain form of dopamine, where it's like they're more addicted to the device than being addicted to the person. But I've seen some nasty, nasty things, man. I'm in Georgia, so I've seen some nasty, nasty things, and it's funny because they don't know really what they want to do. If they want to wear masks, not wear masks. If they want to put it in the news for you to wear mask, or put it in the news that it's dangerous, especially for African Americans and so-called blacks, to wear masks because
yeah,
it looks like you're about to stick something up. So therefore, they utilize this as an excuse to pretty much subject you to their rules and boundaries. So me, of course, you tell me to go left, I'm gonna go right because that's what I feel. I'm not a part of their systematic society per se, but I do maneuver within their society. But it's been very chaotic. I've seen water, a typical water you would pay for $4 per case, is now being sold for $10 a case. And I'm like, what? And
yeah,
sanitizer going for a certain amount. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? Like, dude, come on, really? Like, okay. So y'all naturally don't wash your hands.
yeah. It's just a result of people uh, just not knowing what to do and unaware of what's going on. Because it's like one big prison now. Everybody's on house arrest, and like they sell cigarettes for money in prison. Whatever the scarce in prison they sell. And you have people doing that, and people in the soup. This has created more tension. People are like very tense because it creates more fear because no one knows what's going to happen. Yeah, we got theories, we got 5G, we got coronavirus, we got all of this. Do your diet like this and walk like this and pray. Make sure you pray and make sure you do this. But to tell the truth, no one knows exactly what's going on and what's going to happen. And this creates psychologically, this creates more tension. And if someone don't stand up in the so-called political or government area, it's going to be like Thunderdome because you can only contain people for so long because people are starting to the people that wasn't aware, it's starting to make them think more. And you must pay attention and see a crisis forces you to take action. Most people don't take action. They just listen to government. They just listen to their teacher. There's always some supervisor telling them what to do. Now, in a crisis, people realizing that you're on your own. And you
Wow.
can feel that tension wherever you go.
They trying to cut out the middleman, huh? A
Ain't no
middleman.
middle. Ain't no middleman this time. You can't hide behind the middleman this time.
Hey, man, but some of the nasty things that I've seen, man, the racist individuals are getting a lot bolder. And us as a people, we tend to give them more light than we normally give them, right? And we blow them up because we put our energies into it. But what if you don't say nothing about it? because you're aware and you know that they're racist. Racist is going to be the racist. The idiots is going to be the idiots. The hoes going to be the hoes, whether men or females. Musician going to be musician. And that's what it is. Like, why are we looking for the love from people that never loved us before and being who they are, which is racist? Get what I'm saying? Like, we are the most creative population of people, strong, determined, captivating, dope in every which way. But our common sense is not common because we fail to see the beauty within ourselves. We fail to see that we are the rose that maneuvered through a concrete that was solid. But yet, as a rose, we're not that solid, right? What do you say
No,
about that?
I mean that's an excellent point. That may be the point because uh, and you know me, Jermaine, and the people that listen to us regularly, they know me. I'm big on looking at things deeply. I'm about solutions, not talking about opinions, and I mean all that stuff has its place in argument and in assessments and investigation. But I look at it deeply, and I look at action. I'm holistic, so I have to look at what is going on, what is, and what's the action of the solution. So and that is it starts with awareness. you know I never felt that black people should ever listen to anybody else but themselves because we are unique people. This is why we're black. Everybody else is light except us, right? So the universe made us unique, yet we're universal. And I always wonder, why a black man or woman listen to anybody else, or even some nation that has proven that they don't really care about them. Because we invented everything, we do everything, we make everybody else rich but ourselves. And so the crisis has always been on us. We've always been in a crisis. If you talk to some of the elders who's still alive, well, they'll tell you in 1929 when the stock market crashed and America was in turmoil, it didn't affect black people. It just gave everybody else a chance of what it was like being black. But now I think it's a good time for black people especially to try to come together more because um, we've proved that we can do it. We we were set free in slavery. In slavery, we were set free to nothing. We was nothing according to them, and we made something out of nothing. And we can still do that.
Don't they play with that? Don't they play with words a certain way? And the reason why they say we can't read is because we don't read the codes between the sentences that they're utilizing and the words that they're utilizing. Because within the same notation, they will tell you that um, you are, in order for one of them to measure up to you. What was it? You was like you was 3/5 of a man. So look
Yeah,
at it.
tell the truth about it. What's the
So,
33 and the third?
exactly. So look at it. It took 33 of them to measure up to you.
So
They're
now you know
telling
why.
they're telling you the truth, but you're not paying attention because you don't know how to maneuver and analyze codes. Go within you, and that's what it is. In actuality, they're telling you how powerful you are, but you fail to pretty much register that within yourself. That's where your common sense comes into play, but your common sense lack common sense.
Yes.
And
So
that
what
common
you
sense is not common. So they look at you as in to say you're inferior, you're beneath them, you're less than a human, but they, in the same breath, they're telling you take 33 of them to measure up to one of you.
right. So now you know why they condition you and program you that you're less.
And they keep stepping on your neck. They spend billions of dollars to step on your neck. Now take this disease or virus, for instance. How many viruses have they created? I've lost
All of
count.
them.
And how
All. Let's just say
Have we
all of them.
triumphed? Have we triumphed?
We still here, ain't we?
Still flowing, and they still picking us off one by one. But yet, you put us in any circumstance, any situation, we maneuver not like Holly, not like Frazier, not like Tyson. We maneuver with the universe. Whatever they give us, we make it greater and we make them them. Imagine a population without us.
There is no Earth without us. See, and it's like trying to destroy us is like trying to destroy dandelions.
How you do that?
They still
It's like
figuring that out.
that's like aiming to count the stars, right?
Yeah, I mean, we come up through the concrete, don't we?
Absolutely. And yet they twist and turn, manipulate and fabricate and lie on a daily basis. So how do you ingest so-called truth from the deceptive individuals that create deception in the first place?
Right, and and that is the issue because it's like I stated in my book, King. I call you know what I call it? I call it the science of deception. And so I look at it as speaking of common sense, what's the action of common sense? You know, we all have we we all have a common bond to observe, to love, observe, learn, protect, and survive. But in times like these, and in the history of how we've been treated and being treated, we that action of common sense is awareness. Be we must stay aware. And so, what does somebody do to stay aware? You have to question and investigate the investigator. You know, people will only do what you let them do. Now we've let them do too much.
Wait, let me interject. People will only treat you the way you teach them to treat you. They're flowing
Yeah,
off our actions.
yeah, but that's a translation. But I'm saying you don't have to take anything. You don't have to do what anybody says. You know, and I'm talking to you, black man, black woman. You don't have to do what anybody says. And because everybody is born free, and I'm talking to you, Jew man, Jewish, the Jew, the Irish, the white, the Indian, the Asian. Everybody is born. You can say what you want, but Earth is home for all of us. So, um, you're born free. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to listen to anybody. So, uh, a real man listens to his heart. A real woman listens to her heart. Now, we're conditioned and programmed to comply, to obey this science of deception. So this is why I can't trust the government when they say wear a mask. This is why I can't trust the government when they say coronavirus is killing all these people. Because at first, Africa wasn't affected and black people wasn't affected. Now black people are the threat. Now black people are the problem. What
Sound like
happened
the
between now and then? You know?
sound like the same old song that they sung like 100 times. They've sung these songs before. You know it's not going. You know in Jamaica they say yo naga nice if you're not a black black na dede na nice. Like that's what it is. It seemed like the aim is to have us buy into everything, and it's never finalized until we buy into everything, and that's pretty much what it is, right?
And
But what
it's like that old kindergarten joke. A white kid punches another white kid and they go tell the teacher. And he says, uh, Joey punched me in the stomach. Who Joey? That white guy over there. No, no, just say a black guy did it. That's the teacher tells him.
oh man, it becomes
So
more
now,
magnified, right?
as this go on, black people gonna be to blame for Corona. Watch.
Isn't that what they're doing in China though?
China's
We're
like they
we're less
scapegoat.
of
It ain't us. It's the black people. What China's saying? It's not us. It's the black people.
yeah, we're lazy, we're less than human. We deserve to be eradicated off the face of the earth. Um But yet our queens spend what, like $2 billion in their industry, making them wealthier. Um, lashes, nails, etc., etc.
Don't we make everybody rich? Who don't we make rich? Who don't think about it, King? Who don't we make rich? We buy the Korean wigs. We buy all the China silk. We buy and we built America.
We're the experiment,
All
man.
right.
We're the experiment. The ones that do the most work, but yet get paid the less and get treated like shit on a daily basis, right? So therefore, we take whatever we accumulate and we put it back within the system that's oppressing us. So in a sense, it's like we're oppressing ourselves. If in a
Yes, and
deep aspect, we're oppressing ourselves because we keep fueling the machine that keep oppressing us.
yes, but say the word, say the phrase. We keep feeding the beast. See,
Absolutely.
we keep feeding this parasite.
and
They're living off our dying.
and when the crazy thing too, and we act like we don't have common sense when it becomes a beast, it keeps getting fat. And we keep feeding it,
Right,
and it'll be like, oh, it's a beast now. Then we're gonna cry and
right.
complain after we're the one that's doing it. Like, how you gonna cry and complain and be the victim when you're the one doing it,
But
right?
what's the ugly truth, King? There's no common sense in some black people. Let's you know what this platform is about.
Truth.
Some of these black people don't have common sense. What? Because they're so caught up in the sensation and sugar and bad diet, and they so conditioned and programmed, they still believe in what the man that's trying to kill you is telling you to wear a mask and telling you how to survive. That's not common sense. That's not common sense to listen to somebody who kidnapped your ancestors. That's not the action of common sense. And they'll be the first to tell you, well, we didn't do it. I said, but you're benefiting off of it,
They always benefit. What you mean they didn't do it? If I
right?
wanna create something, if I wanna run a simulation, how do I run a simulation? I would in turn create something, right? Put it between the people, whether it's, say, a sport, keep them competing with themselves, keep them
Right.
chasing the carrot. But once they complete the challenge, you put up a bigger carrot. Like, oh, it's better when you have one, two, three, four, five, six. Oh, six is not enough. Go for seven. Oh, go for 10. Keep moving the goalpost, correct?
Yes. And nobody still, and no black person has anything. Well, some black people have, the athletes have $1 million, but there's no ownership. You're just paying for privilege. You don't own the car. You don't own the house.
What is it backed by though? Because these athletes are looking like the typical man that goes to work at 9 to 5 on a daily basis. Even though they're not maneuvering, they can stay within their nice and beautiful home and
Right.
quarantine with style. They got the chef, they got this. I mean, and I'm not knocking them for what they have worked hard for and what they have created, because that's
No,
the objective. But at the same time, we run around blaming people for what we're not doing, and we play that victim role when we're the one creating our reality and fail to elevate our reality. Get what I'm saying? It's like in one breath they like, yo, black people are vitamin D deficient, right? And but we want you to stay in the house. Don't spread the virus. What?
you mentioned common sense earlier. Is it common sense? Michael, the black people are basketball. Black people is the NFL. We should have our own league. Michael Jordan could have his own league. Kobe was thinking about having his own league. Oh, I forgot. Kobe's no longer around. I wonder why.
Rest in power, King.
Yes. And we've done it all. We're doing it all. So you have to look at it. Common sense says it's by design not for you to have ownership. It's always an asterisk if a black person owns something. It's always an asterisk by a black celebrity, some jail term, some scandal. You know, that's too much coincidence. Uh,
And the ones that step out of the comfort zone to come out of it, what do? They label them as they do stupid things. Like take Kanye West for instance. They label him as a idiot. He's confused. He needs help or whatever, whatever. And but if you listen to what this man is saying, you be like, whoa, that's that's what I've been saying. Like he wants y'all to wake up. Like stop playing the victim role and just take action. Right? A victim will always remain a victim. But within the same breath though, Rich, what is it we can do to improve our immune system given the fact that there's a pandemic and we are the least healthy of people? How can we strengthen our immune system and eradicate these man-made diseases?
yeah, number one is awareness, and so one may ask, awareness of what? Um, Awareness that what we stop has more value than what we try to seek and start, and that applies to what you're putting in your mouth and your body also. And I put it simply like this. Well, you ask 10 different people, you might get 10 different answers. But I'm holistic. I have a business called No Stress Life, where I help people with that have complications with their body and psychological complications. I do a 90-day cleanse with veggies and herbs. And the most important thing, to put it simply, is stop the sugar. Number one, because I'm because the way I do my business, and just as in my book, I put it in a way to where hopefully to where it cannot be misunderstood. So I tell all of you, there's 1,001 diets out there. There's 1,001 people telling you 1,001 things. But I tell you to stop the sugar, and the body will begin to heal itself. And sugar has many disguises. Sugar is a master of disguise, therefore it's a master of escapes and diseases. But sugar and stress is the bottom line to all diseases.
So um let's call out a few things that they can actually eat to increase and better themselves if they eliminate the sugar, the cheese, dairy, and starch, right? So one of my favorite is ginger, right? Um Eating ginger have a lot of benefits. Um what else do you have to add beside this ginger? I do a lot of blueberries. I like papaya. I do a lot of fruit, especially fruits with seeds. The papaya have the seeds can actually remove parasites from your body. The ginger brings down your blood pressure. Um, it flushes you. If you're drinking natural spring or say alkaline water, squeeze a little bit of lemon in it. What do you have, Rich?
I would say stop the sugar again, which is starch. The sugar is disguised as starches, and
Potatoes.
yeah, potatoes, carrots. See, there's starch vegetables people don't know about, like broccoli and cauliflower. But I don't want to really complicate things and get complex. But
Mm-hmm.
some quick things that you can do is once you stop the sugar. When I say sugar, that means chemical sugar and microwave stuff. And there's a herb. Jermaine mentioned one, which is ginger, which is um, really good, and and dandelion is actually an herb, which is really good. You should be in a dandelion salad a day with avocado and put some grapeseed oil in there. Make your own dressing with avocado, grapeseed oil, and sea salt, and throw some lime in there with it. You will love it. It's a little bitter, but that bitterness is for your health. And you can season it up if you don't like the bitter taste. So dandelion, uh, because you need the iron. The body, if your iron is correct in the body, it's impossible for you to be sick. I'll say that again. If your iron is correct, it's impossible for you to be sick. So we don't get enough iron. See, and iodine, it's an herb called bladderwrack. A virus, it can really combat this virus very, very successfully with that herb bladderwrack because iron and iodine and sea moss, you have all the minerals working with
And with that being stated, kids, kings, queens, we thank you. In order to follow us or be a part of our lives, please send me a request at King Jermaine, inbox me pertaining to the Mental Rolodeck lives. And if you want to do a one on one, I'm free. I'm open to suggestions on improving Mental Rolodeck and growing in a natural flow per se. And with that being stated, I say rest well, recharge, and see you tomorrow. Stay tuned. Love is love.
positive energy to all.